I am live. Yes. I guess it was best is the day. I we I have been sober for some surprises I have got. So firstly, we all right. Then I'm for safety.
This thing that can press
Yeah.
okay.
Uh,
This you have to plug it into here, and then this end, just do it into one of your um, charging blocks,
yeah.
and then a wall to charge this up. Okay,
Uh, okay.
I'm gonna stick this side everything out. We're gonna reverse.
Thank you.
Yep, that's what that is.
Yeah.
So that is who you are, where you live, any of that stuff. You're giving them like, hey, this is what I have in my home. Here's what I own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But be careful with what you share and what you talk about.
So we watch Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. That's all. So that's what that do it. And I'm gonna leave this just in case. Oh, thank you.
We will check out tomorrow. We'll check this, okay?
All right.
You're
I'll just a quick moment. There we go. There we go. So now, ready to be back. Eagles. Like, it's not enough for full screen. They'll get used to it.
My mind went straight to Elliot from the secret episode of Elliot and Ella. We see him stand up to the bullies and a bunch of weird glitches happen. Suddenly they're all buried and Elliot is fine, as though something took over him. The website also used to be riddled with pentagrams, upside crosses, and other symbols, so it felt like there was some kind of demonic possession taking place with these creepy mascots. The idea of it wearing my skin could also be pointing us in that direction. When Elliot is being bullied, he becomes possessed. A demonic spirit takes control of him, wearing his skin, as it were, making him do these horrible things. And right as we've discovered this, while I'm in the middle of research, a YouTube ad has interrupted my background music. What kind of advert dared to interrupt my lo-fi listening experience, you ask? It was an ad for something called Fun Kids Game Zone, a website where you can play loads of cool games, one of which is suspiciously called Elliot's Adventure, and it features a familiar cat. And this is where we finally get to play a game in this ARG. Though, to be clear, it's not the game, just a game. It's weird, but it's something. Elliot's Adventure is 2D side-scrolling platformer where Elliot has to help the animal townspeople from an evil sorcerer. You help them by fighting off bears and bees that drop items that the townspeople need, like shovels, watering cans, and cloth. Once you collect them all, you can move to the next area, which takes a bit of a turn in aesthetics. Suddenly, you're deep in a forest, and instead of cute animals to talk to, there are human children. And they aren't exactly welcoming. These children ask you to find stuff too, but it's not cute stuff like before. This time you need to find them sundials, knives, skulls, and stone heads. And it only gets weirder as you start to explore the next stage. The enemies that drop the items are clay monsters, piles of flesh, and fire snakes. Not only that, but now the background is covered with stone statues of faces and totem poles. This game, just like the TV show, has taken a very dark and sinister.
I think it landed and went off balance.
It's a turn. Although, I don't know about you, looking at all of these new details, it really screams of Aztec to me, which makes me wonder if there's some connection between Aztec mythology and the KMW cult. The fire snake specifically stood out here, as the fire serpent is commonly seen across Aztec religions as the spiritual form of the god Xiuhtecuhtli. This god was also considered the embodiment of the dry season, and when the dry seasons came, they would then try to appeal to the god of rain, Tlaloc, in order to undo it. And how did they plan on achieving this? Oh, nothing major, just an itty bit of child sacrifice. Is this why we saw the KMW putting on the facade of giving parents respite by looking after their children to lure troubled children into their care where they could be sacrificed? And it gets even crazier than that, because one of the other gods in Aztec culture is Xipe-Totec, also known as our Lord the Flayed One. Like with the other gods, Aztecs performed a ritual for this god, this time symbolizing the shedding of the old and new growth, similar to how a seed sheds its husk when it blooms into a flower. But the way Aztecs symbolized this and gave praise to this deity is where things get real dark. They would not only sacrifice people like we've mentioned, they would then wear their skin. Guys, if you just want to show people you changed, get a haircut. But suddenly that quote sending this message had literally been part of the ritual, becoming the that someone wore. Ugh, I hope this isn't what's happening in this story, but the pieces are just fitting together all too nicely. Perhaps the ending of Elliot's Adventure will confirm or deny this chilling comparison. There are a bunch of different endings in this game, and all of them are weird in their own ways. When you complete the game normally, it suddenly cuts to everyone cheering for you, but then it cuts to black and red text appears. What did you do to the sorcerer, Elliot? And then the game reboots. If this sorcerer is supposed to appear after you collect the strange Aztec items, it could be one of the Aztec gods we suspected is at the center of this evil child cult. Another ending comes from giving rare items to the NPCs. If you give a blanket to one of the children in the second village, she tells us this is a blanket that her family gave her, and now she wants to go back but she is told she can't. Once this conversation ends, an image is automatically downloaded to your computer. This image is of a man called René Spitz, another child psychoanalyst like Erik Erikson. He was known for his study of children's development when they were deprived of a caregiver, how it can impede their mental development, but even increase infections and mortality rates. The child we speak to in this game says they want to go home, but she is told she can't, much like we learned about Sarah's mum Debbie in Act 1. The KMW is taking children away from their parents, willing or otherwise. But that feels a little weird, right? Last time, the idea of Erik Erikson was to stop the bad thing happening, to stop the kids crying out like he taught. But here, we're seeing them do exactly what René Spitz tells them not to do. Are they just doing it to make them weaker and easier to sacrifice? Or is it something else? Like they're weeding out the weak. The children sacrificed to the rain god Tlaloc in Aztec rituals often needed to be brought to tears before being sacrificed as a good omen for the rains to come. So maybe this is how they pick which gets sacrificed and would become like Reed and Simon. If they break down and cry because they lost their caregiver, you sacrifice them. If they go down the path of Erik Erikson and stop crying, they become part of the cult. After this interaction with the NPC, the game resets and you can complete it as normal. But instead of the townspeople cheering for Elliot, he is alone and confused. Suddenly the game glitches out and the box begins to show a bunch of numbers. And I mean a lot of numbers. We haven't seen this guy in a while. A Polybius square cipher. Basically a substitution cipher where each letter in a message is replaced with its corresponding coordinates within a 5x5 grid. Man, Giggleland really requires you to know every cipher in the book, and I am here for it. Once decoded, we get the following message. Quote, "You have to get out of here. They're going to do something to her. If he takes her, we'll never see her again. You two need to leave quickly. Pack your things and head out with K, C, and M. They'll be waiting for you near the back of the barn at 1 a.m. I wish I could protect you, but they will. T keeps watching me. He senses my fear. If I go, he'll follow. I'll keep him distracted for however long it takes. Raise her to have a normal life. I promise we'll both be a family again. I don't know when, but we will. I love you." This her has to be Sarah. I know that Debbie had a child while in the commune and left, but more importantly, with phrases like "we'll both be a family again," that must mean that this message is written by the one and only Simon, Sarah's father that we learned about right at the end of Act 1. Debbie wasn't just driven away from the commune because she felt isolated or she saw through their lies. She was told by her partner, and if she didn't, they were going to do something to Sarah so that they would never see her again. Maybe they'd sacrifice her like all the other children, which is why she is overprotective of Sarah now, stopping her from going out because of what could happen if she's found. But we are nowhere near done with this game or the secrets it holds. One of the other rare items is a flower that, when given to the horse in the village, triggers some new dialogue. She claims the flower has special properties, like how we use aloe when we cut ourselves or lavender to help us when we're sad. But this flower is good for young people because, quote, someone or something has to keep them in line. So is this some kind of hallucinogenic flower? Something to calm the kids down and make them more agreeable? Are they using it to change the way the kids think so that the kids who join the cult can be brainwashed? Either way, now that we know about each rare item, we can get a new ending. I'm getting the flower and the blanket, giving them to the NPCs, and then completing the game, you'll be transported to a farm. Talking to the farmer, Mr. T, he thanks Elliot for all the help he's done, but says there's more to do. Some seeds need to be planted, and we must ensure they grow properly. He asks Elliot to bring the seeds to him, that they may be purified from the evil sorcerer. Now, maybe it's just my religious upbringing, but phrases relating to the work not being done, and that there are seeds to sow and or be harvested, feel very religious to me. With the guy running the farm being called Mr. T, it didn't take me long to make the connection to the guy leading the cult, Terry, which means the seeds he's talking about aren't literal seeds. They're the thing that this cult, the KMW, are obsessed with. Children. Young plants that haven't fully developed. They need to be raised to be happy, and it's up to Elliot to bring those children to Mr. T so he can purify them. And given all of the Aztec stuff we've talked about today, I have a feeling purify doesn't mean giving them a bath. Elliot is bringing the children to Mr. T to be sacrificed. But if Mr. T is the video game counterpart of Terry, the cult leader, who then is Elliot supposed to be? Who is the accomplice of Terry and his crazy mess rituals? Well, the answers are hiding in the one we haven't tried out yet. If you're skilled enough and can finish the 2D side-scroller without taking any damage, you can achieve the hitless ending. Instead of it ending like usual, interacting with the sign to move to the final area, a portal appears that you can then walk through. This portal triggers a glitch, and you are told player entity failed to register incoming damage. Debugging required. Issue persists across multiple instances. Please investigate using the dev build. Giggleland_dev build _9213.zip. This is our next step to solving the puzzle, friends. There is even more to this game than we have already played, and this is where the questions we've been asking can be answered. What are they doing the sacrifices for? Where does Sarah fit into all this? And who is Elliot?
Well, let's make sure it's not Elliot's Bugwood at first. We know how suspicious Poppy Playtime has been. Sorry, I was quiet. I never talk that much. Literally not talking that much. Anyway, keep going with this glitchy screen.
Elliot. The problem is you can't just access the dev build. Not easily anyway. There are breadcrumbs that lead us to where it might be hiding, and inside it are the secrets to everything. But that is all gonna have to wait till next time. So make sure you're subscribed so you see that video when it comes out in a couple of weeks. And as always, theorists, remember, it's all just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
And there we go. I really want to quickly do this one as well to finish this off. But the time has come. It's 12:12. And I may end the stream. So yeah. Maybe that's about it for the birthday stream of mine. And see you later. Everyone.